welcome back to the IPFW Athletic Center for the second game of tonight's exciting Great Lakes Valley Basketball Conference. The men's basketball team from the University of Indianapolis is about to tip off against the IPFW Mastodons. In the first game, the women's team from Indiana-Purdue was able to defeat the University of Indianapolis, so we'll look for a sweep tonight in game number 2. We have some volleyball action to report to you for the IPFW men's volleyball team on their California trip. They lost their first match yesterday to the University of California, Santa Barbara in 4 games. Lost their second match to Long Beach State in 3 games. But today they defeated George Mason in 5 games, 15-8, 11-15, 15-8. 5-15, 7-15. So they won in 3 matches, or in 5 games over George Mason, and then they'll be playing a 4th match in this 2-day schedule there in California at about 8:30 tonight. So in about 10 minutes they'll be playing their 4th and final game. We're now ready for the starting lineups for this second men's basketball game here tonight.
First to 6'4" senior guard from Huntington, Indiana, number 12, Gary. At the other guard, a 6'4" junior from Marion, Indiana, number 25, Kyle Persinger. At 1 forward, a 6'5" senior from Elwood, Indiana, number 23, Jamie Whetstone. At the other forward, a 6'8" freshman from Tipton, Indiana, number 34, Doug Staley. And the center for the Greyhounds, a 6'7" junior from Greensburg, Indiana, number 53, Steve Nobby. The head coach for the Greyhounds is Mr. Bill Green. He's assisted by Larry Humes and John Albers. And now for your IPFW Mastodons. Coming in at 4-6 in the conference, 14-6 overall. At 1 guard, a 5'8" senior from Muncie, Indiana, number 4, Lawrence Jordan. At the other guard, a 6'5" junior from Chicago, Illinois, number 25, Glenn Howard. At 1 forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Muncie, Indiana, number 33, Sam Long. At the other forward, a 6'8" freshman from New Albany, Indiana, number 41, Sean Gibson. And at center for the Dons, it's 6'9" freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 44, Doug Reinke. The head coach for IPFW is Mr. Andy Piazza. He is assisted by John Felsky, and the student assistant is Bobby Marshall. Will everyone please stand for the playing of our national anthem?
Well, we're about ready for tip-off here as the Mastodons and Greyhounds square off Again, they met 8 days ago. The University of Indianapolis came from behind in that game, late in the game, to hand the IPFW Mastodons a defeat. So again, perhaps they can turn the tables here tonight, Dan, and get this thing evened up for the year.
Dave, not quite sure what to expect. As you mentioned, we lost last weekend down there 70-65. But University of Indianapolis coming off a major loss last Thursday night at Ashland, 105-66. And we're winning very ugly here against St. Joe the other night, so not quite sure what to expect. Boy, Dave, I'll tell you, high school basketball fans in Indiana are going to recognize a lot of people in this court and in this game tonight. Bill Green on the bench over in U of I, Darren Timor, Pertzinger, Sam Long, just a whole host of players who have had a lot of success at the high school level.
And there we saw a little, two guys, both on the IPFW, aggressively going after the ball, and neither one would let up, and they lost the ball out of bounds. So, aggressive play. University of Indianapolis starts out here now with the ball on the outside. Well, IPFW is going to have to watch Gary Paul, number 12. Excellent, excellent three-point shooter.
Well, he's averaging 22.1 points a game, so you're right. He's going to be the key to their offense. And he's a senior this year. I remember him from a number of years past coming in here and hitting he's scoring a lot of points.
He's put that long jump shot in a lot of times. Turnaround jumper by Sean Gibson, no good. And Indianapolis quickly up the floor. Jamie Whetstone over on the far side. Lawrence Jordan with the steal, saves the ball, dishes off to Doug Reinke with the slam dunk. And IPFW quickly off to a 2-0 lead.
Nice hustle by Reinke to get down there and catch up to Jordan. That's a tough task.
Yes, it is. And it was hard to tell whether... okay, good hustle that time by Glenn Howard. He stepped over the inline, so the ball will return to the University of Indianapolis, but good hustle on the defense. Kyle Persinger pinched in the corner with the ball. He releases outside, and Paul cuts through the three-pointer, and there he is. He will do that regularly.
No way can you let him have a shot like that without a face in his hand. A hand in his face. Face in his hand.
Steve Noby that time dished off out of the lane, kicked it back out to him, and he pumped up the three-pointer. There we see a nice pass inside as Sean Gibson goes up for the shot and is fouled by number 53, Steve Noby. First foul of the ball game will be a two-shot foul for Sean Gibson. IPFW trailing 3-2 early here in the contest. Sean misses the first free throw. Opportunity now again to tie the score. Second free throw around and in. So we have a 3-3 tie.
Good pressure being exerted by IPFW. They do this the whole game. And again, I think their intent's got to be not to take the ball away, but to take the Greyhounds out of their typical offense.
And here we go with Gary Paul again with a three-pointer. He's not bashful about putting it up. And there we saw
Lawrence Jordan.
And Lawrence picked the pocket of Steve Noby, who rebounded the ball.
But not a good choice at the opposite end, I don't think. You should have pulled up at about the free throw line and looked for cutters or
looked for somebody to dish it off to. Move inside that time by number 23, Jamie Whetstone. And he gets the basket for Indianapolis. Lawrence Jordan down with the ball. Over to Sean Gibson. Then Howard to far left side. Three-pointer on his way, and it's good. To tie this, to give IPFW the lead, rather, 6-5. Kyle Persinger had the ball. Shot it off to Jamie Whetstone. See in the far corner, Doug Staley with the ball. And Kyle Persinger that time got a little over anxious, dished off, and there was nobody cutting to the basket, so it went out of bounds.
Well, that's where the pressure defense will help because, again, it makes you want to get rid of the ball as quick as you can, and oftentimes you let go before or not exactly at the place you want to let it go.
Lawrence Jordan brings the ball up the court for the IPFW Mastodons as they set their offense. Glenn Howard in the far left, looking inside, nobody there, back out to Lawrence Jordan. Sam Long on the right side, looking inside into Sean Gibson, and his pass back out is tipped away. And the double team over in the corner results in a foul being called against IPFW's Doug Ranke. 6-5 the score.
Well, they tried to double team, and the Indianapolis player tried to take the baseline, and Ranke didn't quite have a cutoff when he made his move, and so he forced him out of bounds, but on the force he was pushing him.
And there we saw the shot blocked away by Sean Gibson, but he drew the foul. And going to the line will be number 23, Jamie Whetstone.
A little bit of what we saw there in the first game, Dave, was that the Dons are not closing that lane down for the drive, and Whetstone was able to take it right down the middle, and Gibson had to go up. It looked like he had a clean block up on top, but again, I'm sure he got him with the body down low.
Well, at least that time Sean did give the help defense and cut it off, and it's going to pay off at least in 1 point overall net, as the first free throw by Jamie Whetstone was missed, and he looks for number 2. Shot is up and good. University of Indianapolis appearing to be setting up in a 2-3 zone. And that time Sean Gibson got inside it, puts up a nice soft shot.
But he's got to be careful with his free hand, Dave. It almost appeared he pushed away with that free hand up high.
Pretty close. University of Indianapolis moved that ball very quickly around the perimeter and got the open three-pointer from the left corner.
Well, and that's what IPFW is going to have to avoid. They cannot let that was Persinger taking that shot, but Paul's the one that's typically going to try to get open, and they're going to have to hustle back and get a hand in the face.
And it appears that Gary Paul, Kyle Persinger, Doug Staley, maybe Jamie Whetstone, any one of those guys will take that three-pointer outside. Indianapolis in the lead, 9-8. Sam Long puts up a three-pointer for IPFW, and that's good. Gary Paul with the ball, quickly down to the corner. We have a substitute in now, Tom Bratton, number 20 for the University of Indianapolis. And he has replaced the big fella, number 53, Steve Nobby. Tom Bratton has the ball, now back over to Doug Staley as Gary Paul drives the lane. Staley has the ball in the deep corner, and he hits a three. The threes are falling fast and furiously here, Dan.
Well, Dave, I just checked the stats. In 19 games, the University of Indianapolis has attempted 362 three-point attempts. So
they put it up, don't they?
That's over 20 a game.
It looks like they kind of invite you to put it up offensively, too, with their defense. Ball came out and rebounded by Doug Staley. Over to Kyle Persinger. Persinger brings it down, and there's a slap on the arm that we can hear even up here. Foul will be on Glenn Howard, number 25, for the IPFW Mastodons. We now have one original starter in the lineup for IPFW. That's Doug Staley. Hits the outside jump shot. That time he was just inside the line, so it was a two-pointer. John Heinstrider inside, and he gets a good strong move to the basket.
Good feed by Pittman, looking inside to get the ball down there.
And there we had a strong cross-court pass to an easy basket underneath. Steve Nobby scored that last basket for Indianapolis. Ball kicked out of bounds, so the shot clock will be reset. IPFW will inbound the ball with a fresh 45-second shot clock. Lloyd Surgeon's in the ball game now. Kevin Shank, John Heinstrider, Mike Pittman, along with the original starter, Lawrence Jordan. Strong move inside and a strong rebound inside by Heinstrider.
Surgeon made a good move, just a little hard off the board, but Heinstrider was able to get position on the backside and keep the ball alive.
Long outside jumper by Staley. No good for Indianapolis. They don't take a lot of time in putting that ball up.
Neither does IPFW.
That's right.
Up and down the court ball game. Actually, I was a little surprised at the score at Indianapolis, 70-65. Not a very high-scoring ball game.
Jamie Whitstone threw the ball away that time. A little too high for Steve Noby to be able to handle.
Well, it was good tandem defense by Sargent and Hohenstrider back there. Both 2-on-2 break, and they both played the ball real well.
16-15. Indianapolis leads. Just a little over 6 minutes of play as he lapsed here in the first half. Lloyd Sargent with the ball, deep left corner. Kevin Shank back out to the top. Mike Pittman. Inside, John Hohenstrider. Good patience by the Mastodons right here. They're getting the ball, moving it around. Haven't gotten the move that they want yet, but it'll be coming. There's the three-pointer going up by Lawrence Jordan. No good. Inside rebound position by number 23, Jamie Whitstone that time in IPFW. And there we had a loose ball that Indianapolis came up with. And in all of the jockeying underneath, a foul will be called against John Hohenstrider.
Got a little physical down there for a couple seconds there.
Yes, it did. Looked like there might have been a jump ball that no official was in a position to see. And there you see the score. Indianapolis 16, IPFW 15. Kyle Persinger out the top. Doug Staley. There we see a quick pass inside to Kyle Persinger, but he could not get the shot. Doug Staley over to Gary Paul. And we had a quick pass inside, but IPFW cut off the passing lane and then dished off too quickly, or is it a little tight to be able to cleanly get the ball out and move it up court.
Good defense down there, Bo. Both teams are playing very, very strong defense inside. They're going to give up that three-point shot, and it may come down to who can hit that 20-footer.
That's right. Jamie Whitstone made the move to the baseline that time and drew the foul on Lloyd Sargent, number 40 for the IPFW Mastodons. As we saw on Thursday night, the differential in the fouls is going against the home team considerably at this time.
But on different type, I don't feel like it's a one-sided calling this time. I feel like IPFW is just so aggressive. They're getting a lot of hand slaps.
And the jump shot is good by Jamie Whitstone. As we see three substitutions coming into the lineup for IPFW. Ranke, Gibson, and Glenn Howard into the lineup.
Well, we'll certainly see a lot of substitutions from IPFW's end of the bench. I'm not sure about the University of Indianapolis.
No, they have not made a lot of substitutions tonight so far.
They only have 10 players on the bench today dressed, Dave, so.
And they've used one of them. IPFW moving the ball around, looking for the offensive setup that would give them a score. They go inside, come back outside. Lawrence Jordan dishes off. A nice bucket that time by Doug Ranke.
Good look by Jordan and a nice play by Ranke. That's a tough play to handle Jordan's passes for a big man like Doug Ranke in that close, and he did a great job. Lawrence Jordan had 15 assists the other night, Dave, in the St. Joe game, and obviously he's averaging 8.9 a game, so.
The teammates have to be ready. They got to be looking for the ball. And there you see a nice pass down the lane as Kyle Persinger on the drive for Indianapolis scores two. 2017. Sean Gibson with a three-pointer to tie this game up.
It's going to be real interesting.
Yeah, there's been two or three three-pointers already by both teams. IPFW in the defensive set this time, and the jumper from the left side. And Gary Paul puts up the three. He's dangerous. He doesn't hesitate. But he had good daylight. Indianapolis with the lead. IPFW with the ball. Back out to Lawrence Jordan. Look for the set. Not much movement on the offense right now, and thus the defense isn't having to work very hard. Sam Long with a two-pointer. I think his toe was probably on the line. Kyle Persinger with the ball. Back over to Gary Paul as they break the IPFW pressure. But Doug Ranke with good hustle knocks the ball loose and retrieves it in the corner.
Great defensive play by Ranke.
Great defensive play is right. And opportunity here as a great feed by Lawrence Jordan over to Glenn Howard, who puts in a tough layup shot to give IPFW the lead, as you see, 24-23. We're at the 10-minute mark of the first half. Halfway through this initial half of the men's basketball Great Lakes Valley Conference. Looked like that time Doug Staley had a traveling call that was missed, and then we have a foul called underneath on number 53, Steve Noby. And substitutions for both teams coming in at the moment. We see Tom Bratton and number 30, Scott Long, into the Indianapolis lineup.
Well, that could be an important foul on Noby because he's averaging nearly 6 rebounds a game, and so far in this game has been a real force inside on the board, not necessarily offensively.
Well, at 6'7", he's one of the biggest players in their lineup.
And he's strong,
well-built, strong kid.
Very much like the IPFW inside players.
Nice pass inside, dish off and layup in by Sean Gibson. Indianapolis with the ball coming inside, going back outside now. And a long outside three-pointer. Kevin Shank moves inside for IPFW. Glenn Howard to the deep right corner, 3 points, and it's good.
Nice look by Shank. Drove, didn't have an opening, and fed to the outside corner for Howard for the 3-point attempt.
Well, a three-pointer sure makes things change in a hurry. Because there goes a three-pointer by Kyle Persinger. He misses. And we have a foul. I'm not sure I saw that one.
I didn't see it either, Dave.
He's been a grab or a shove or a push well away from the ball.
Persinger was a little bit short on that. In fact, they've been short on the last couple of three-pointers. And as you mentioned, they have not been able to substitute as freely as IPFW. So we may see fatigue take its toll on those long shot attempts. In fact, Bill Green called a timeout to give his team a little bit of a rest. I think he probably saw that fatigue a little bit the same as we did up here.
Yeah, he wants to kind of regroup and rethink about things here and get the players back into sync. As we have here 8 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first half, IPFW has been able to inch out into a 29-23 lead, and it hasn't been easy.
Well, I think again, one of the big factors here is Doug Ranke starting this ball game. I think he's really matured here towards the end of the season and is really coming into his own.
Well, let me ask the viewers here tonight, Dan, if they have ever wanted to know about college access and the types of programs available on Channel 6. If so, mail us a postcard or a letter with your name, address, and zip code to the following. College Access, care of IPFW, 2101 Coliseum Boulevard East, Fort Wayne, Indiana, zip code 46805-1499. Be a Channel 6 program guide subscriber free of charge. IPFW inbounds the ball and comes in across the midcourt, sets up their offense. University of Indianapolis has been playing basically, and there we see another three-pointer that time by Mike Pittman, and I was about to say they've gone to his own defense after having played basically man for man. We'll see if they stay with it.
I don't think his own, neither team can afford to play his own in this game very well.
Probably not very long. Maybe just enough to mix it up and make it an adjustment play of some sort. But Gary Paul outside. That time he did not have the three-pointer. Scott Burkhart in the ball game and got his hand into the passing lane and deflected the ball out of bounds. Indianapolis will inbounds underneath their own basket. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Again, Scott Burkhart into the passing lane. And a nice steal that time by Gary Paul.
He lost it at one end, didn't quit, played defense all the way down the court, and was able to intercept the pass.
Indianapolis that time very deliberately bringing the ball across against the defensive pressure of IPFW. And we see number 30 with a three-pointer on the way. Scott Long.
Dave, I think that's 5 different players for Indianapolis who have hit a three-point shot this evening.
Well, with the number of shots you were indicating before that they've taken for the season, there had to be a lot of them put that number of shots up. Mike Pittman for 3. It's maybe a three-point contest here tonight.
Halftime stats will be real interesting, won't they?
They sure will. IPFW with a 9-point lead. 7 minutes to go in the first half. There we saw a little bit of and Scott Burkhart with a great steal. And here we see the long court pass. Glenn Howard up and gets the layup to fall. Gary Paul again very alertly and hustling down the floor on the defense. Nearly had another one that he picked off. And a three-point attempt by Scott Long. Scott's hit 2 in a row. Defense is going to have to be played very deep, far out from the basket. Kevin Shank with the ball, back out to Mike Pittman. Lawrence Jordan's getting a well-deserved rest at the moment for IPFW.
In fact, I think he played the whole 40 minutes at the ball game against St. Joe the other night.
And Sean Gibson with another strong move inside to get that inside layup. Gary Paul with the outside three-pointer. That one rims around, no good. Rebound by Kevin Shank, up to Mike Pittman, and here we go again. Glenn Howard with a three-pointer from the corner, no good. Rebound was dropped, and Sean Gibson came up with it, tried for a shot, got it blocked. Indianapolis out with the ball, and with a layup, nice pass quickly down the floor. Tom Bratton with the layup on the front end of the fast break. 39-31. Just a little over 5 minutes of play left here in the first half. Indiana Purdue. Move inside by Sean Gibson. Nice pass. Scott Burkhart, but there was travel. Scott needed one little drop-off dribble there to get himself to the basket.
Or a bigger step. I'm not sure what. Mass substitutions for IPFW. And we'll probably see this all night long, Dave. Every 5 minutes we'll see a major substitution.
Yeah, they're trying to stay fresh so they can keep that defensive pressure on. And we see the ball that time brought down the floor by Doug Staley, number 34. He's playing at the top. Over to Gary Paul. Scott Long. They're beginning to recognize where Scott is now after he hit the 2 3-pointers. But the long skip pass across to him. He moves inside for a short jumper that time. And the short range goes as well for him as does the long range jumper. He's come off of the bench down and given Indianapolis a big lift.
And that's what they're going to need to have that, because obviously they've got to play about at least 8 deep if they're going to stay up with IPFW, and they're going to have to get some production out of those additional 3 to 5 players.
So far, I think they've only used 7 players. Lawrence Jordan back into the game. Inside to Lloyd Surgeon, out to Mike Pittman. Mike with the three-pointer that'll fall short. Inside rebound position, strongly held by Steve Nobby of the University of Indianapolis. Gary Paul on a layup that time, and if the ball, unusual, the block shot hit the player that took the shot while he was falling out of bounds.
Well, I think if I was Paul, I would have expected a foul call, though, because it got awful physical again inside. And he didn't get the call. The ball went, as he fell to the floor, the ball hit him in the back, and he was out of bounds at the time. So, goes to IPFW.
Leonard Fox into the lineup now for IPFW for the first appearance of the evening. That time we had a little bit of a careless pass inside that hit Doug Ranke about the ankles. And the result was a quick move down the floor by Indianapolis for 2. 3-point shot by Sam Long, and that's good. Well, between the two teams, we may set a record tonight on 3-point shots.
I don't know what the record is. I don't know that somewhere, but
it's going to be a record for me. I don't think I've seen this many already.
Leonard Fox did not do a very good job there. He had Lawrence Jordan on his right wide open for an easy layup, and he took it all the way. He was able to pick up the foul, but might have had an easy 2 points that he passed off the...
I think at the beginning he didn't realize Lawrence was there, and then when he did realize Lawrence was there, was not in a position, or didn't put himself in a position to drop it off to him. So Leonard Fox to shoot 2 free throws. Neither team in the bonus yet, and perhaps won't be. First free throw is good by Leonard Fox.
No, and you mentioned earlier that it appeared to be going one way, and it was, but IPFW has really backed off in fouling here lately.
Yeah, one time the foul differential was 5-1 as Leonard misses the second free throw. And the last 3 fouls have been called against Indianapolis, but it's been a long time in any of those calls being made. Doug Staley underneath. Dishes back out to Doug Staley. He misses the jump shot, and over the back, number 53.
Dave, an important foul. That's 3 on Nobby, and I don't think he can afford to be out for very long.
Their inside strength, and they had a man at the scorer's table waiting to come in for him immediately. 43-35. IPFW in the lead with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Great Lakes Valley basketball. Sam Long in the far left. Lawrence Jordan with the ball at the top. Looks over to Leonard Fox, back out to Lawrence. Lawrence moves that middle, tests the middle a little bit, gets nothing going, comes back outside. Lloyd Surgeon in the far left, dishes into Doug Ranke. Not a lot of movement right now on the offense. Lawrence Jordan with the outside jump shot is good. And Lawrence then steals the inbounds pass. Jump shot up by Sam Long, bounces around, no good. And Indianapolis carelessly loses the ball. And we see an excellent pass that time from Lawrence Jordan to Lloyd Surgeon. Lloyd gets the layup.
You talked about it before. If Lawrence has got the ball, you better be ready. And that was the case right there where...
Too bad the first shot didn't go in. But alertly, Kyle Persinger with the follow-up shot and was fouled on his second follow-up attempt. 47-37 to score. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And 2 substitutions coming in for IPFW. Glenn Howard, Kevin Shank, and Sam Long and Leonard Fox get a rest. Kyle Persinger, the free throw line to shoot 1. It's up, bounces, and good. IPFW setting up the offense. Again, against what appears to be a zone defense. Lloyd Surgeon went up over that defense that time to get the ball, keep it alive, kept tipping it up, and finally got the 2 points. Scott Long with the ball. Down in the deep left corner. Doug Ranke cuts off the passing lane. As we have number 5, Darren Timor in for Indianapolis. He's a new player in the lineup. That time, number 30, Scott Long, drove the lane and drew a foul against, I think, Lloyd Surgeon.
Dave, if my memory serves me right, Darren Timor played on the South Bend St. Joe team that played in the semi-state last year up at South Bend, and Doug Ranke played in the Concordia team that played in that.
So they've seen each other.
Sorts, yes.
They've seen each other before. Scott Long shooting 2 free throws.
There's a replay. Drives the middle. Lloyd goes up, picks up the foul.
Scott's first free throw is good.
Long will shoot the 2.
Second free throw on its way, and it's good.
You would expect them to be good free throw shooters, Dave, and they're shooting them nearly 75% from the free throw line.
It's just a little over a minute to play here in the first half. Lawrence Jordan draws the ball out, willing to use the shot clock to get the kind of shot they'd like to have here. He knows they'll get one more possession after this anyway. The shot by Kevin Shank was a little long, rebounded by Indianapolis. Scott Long brings the ball down. Kyle Persinger over to Doug Staley. Doug Staley to, and Kyle Persinger rather took the long three-pointer, missed, and without boxing out on the defensive rebounding, Doug Staley was able to slip through and rebound the ball and put it back in. 49-42, IPFW in the lead, 21 seconds to go. Shot clock will not be a factor now, and IPFW will look for the last shot. They want to go in either leading 7, 9, or 10. And with 10 seconds to go on the clock, they will not have a lot of time to get their scoring opportunity. Out deep to Lawrence Jordan. Lawrence looks inside, looks out to Kevin Shank. Kevin gets the ball stripped away, and they're going to have an opportunity here to score, but Kevin comes back with good hustle to steal the ball. No good opportunity to score, but IPFW will go to the locker room here with a 49-42 lead at the end of one half of play in the Great Lakes Valley Conference competition.
Well, we need this time, Dave, just to catch our breath.
Yes, it's been fast and
up and down the court, and as I said, it's going to certainly be a shooter's ball game. Let me quickly get on the unofficial scoring stats here for IPFW. There you're going to see a replay of that last interception by Shank to Jordan, and he takes a long half-court shot to fall short. But for 49 points total for IPFW, leading here 49-42. They're led in scoring by Glenn Howard and Sean Gibson, both with 10. Lawrence Jordan has 2, Mike Pittman has 6. Sam Long has 8, Lloyd Surgeon has 4, Doug Ranke has 4, and John Honstrider has 4. On the foul side, Lloyd Surgeon has 2, and a number of players have 1, so no real foul trouble on the IPFW side. On the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds, for their 42 points, they're led in scoring by Scott Long with 10, and he didn't even start. He came in off the bench and had 2 3-pointers and a couple of free throws. Kyle Persinger with 8, Jamie Whetstone with 7, Doug Staley with 7, Gary Paul with 7, Steve Noby with 2, Tom Bratton with 2, and on the foul side they've got Steve Noby with 3 and a couple of players with 1, so Noby in trouble, and again they can't afford to be without Noby for very long, so they're going to have to go in and talk about things and decide what they're going to do defensively. But certainly a good ball game at this point in time.
Well, as the fans here get an extra added attraction here tonight, they will be watching a youth basketball exhibition. We invite you watching on TV tonight to stay tuned for a presentation on aging, an Indiana University film presentation.
Indiana University East at Richmond is playing a vital role in the lives of senior citizens. Under a federal grant, the university is operating the Area 9 Agency for the Aging.
It's a unique opportunity for both the university and the Agency on Aging, when the Agency on Aging is part of the university. Here in Indiana, we have 2 agencies that are associated with the universities, ours, which is Area 9, and Vincennes University also has an Agency on Aging. We think in a few years that every university will want to either have or be associated with an Agency on Aging because of the large increase in the number of older people. Our goal is to make community services available for older people in this 5-county region in order to enable them to remain independent in a dignified setting and living at home as long as possible. Since we are part of the university here at IU East, we are able to tap the resources that are available from the faculty. We're able to use student interns in our programs laterally. And right now we have a special initiative taking place where we're working on developing an institute on gerontology here at the university. Our senior centers here in Area 9 serve as the focal point for all of our services, including our in-home services. One of our North programs is the biggest program that we have, and it has two components to it. One that we observed in the senior center is a noontime lunch meal that provides a lot of socialization and activities for older people.
And play cards and bingo and because we're not trying to
We have services emanating out of the senior centers for people who are homebound. One of those services is a home delivered meal program that's delivered to the person's home because the person's unable to get out and participate in the senior center programs. And the case management program is a service that goes into the person's home and through a professionalized assessment forum evaluates what services that person needs to remain independent living in their home. Our elderly population is growing 3 times faster than any other population segment, and in particular, the fastest growing population of the older group is those folks who are 85 years and older.
We have a kitchen dinner down here once a month, and the dance is a rule. And we dance. Thank you. That's what keeps me young.
Indiana University East at Richmond, serving a 5-county region through involvement in the Area 9 Agency on Aging.
Indiana University's 8 front doors have opened even wider at IU Kokomo with an extended outreach program that is meeting the higher education needs of many people in the 9-county area around Kokomo.
In general, our students are working full-time and attending school in the evening, and the outreach courses are offered almost exclusively on the evening and Saturdays. When here in Kokomo, in addition to courses in local businesses such as Chrysler, we also go out and offer courses in Gas City, in Marion, in Wabash, in Rochester, in Peru, in Logansport, in Tipton, Indiana, and in Frankfort, Indiana. And we'll serve through about 60 classes, some 880 students. The courses range from the freshman requirements in English and history and literature to specialized courses in education, some at the upper division level, some at the graduate level, although primarily we offer those courses that are taken by students in most programs at the freshman and sophomore level.
IU Kokomo outreach classes provided retired Logansport fireman Bob McBride an opportunity for productive retirement years.
And I decided at that time that it was important early on in the 20 years to do something, to get ready for retirement. And when the opportunity came along to take classes at Indiana University, I thought that was a good way to do it because it would provide me with a lot of keys when I got to the end of my 20 years that would fit a lot of doors, hopefully. And it worked out to do just that.
IU Kokomo outreach classes are taught in area high schools and manufacturing plants. The Chrysler plant provides financial support for their workers who enroll in IUK academic programs.
We have a perfect setup in this town in that we have IU here, IU willing, IU participated in setting up an in-house academic program to raise the level of knowledge of all of our employees, be they hourly or salary, recognizing that whenever one pursues and gathers that kind of knowledge, it helps himself personally, and it helps those that he happens to be working for. In our case, it's Chrysler Corporation.
There's a lot of things that when I was growing up, I didn't think it was possible that I would ever go to school. I mean, continue school. I didn't think I was tried talked out of school when I was in junior high. They tried to talk me, saying I didn't have to go any further.
As we become more competitive, the competition in the automotive world is tremendous, and we have to upgrade our educational levels all the time. When Chrysler Corporation opened it up and said, we'll be glad to pay your way if you're interested in going to school, I thought that over for about a semester, and then I decided it was something that I really wanted to do, was to go back to school and get a degree.
Indiana University at Kokomo, providing quality higher education through their outreach program.
Indianapolis has become the amateur sports capital of the United States, having hosted the Pan Am Games in 1987 and just last summer, the Olympic trials and qualifications. The goal of all athletes is to compete and to achieve with optimum performance. For most athletes, that goal is attained through months and years of training for perfection. But for a small number of athletes, the road to success has also led to the use of drugs to enhance their performance. New guidelines are being established by various athletic organizations at the amateur and professional levels to deter the use of drugs by athletes. The Indiana University School of Medicine's Department of Pathology operates the Sports Medicine Laboratory in Indianapolis. One of only 4 labs in the Western Hemisphere approved by the International Olympic Committee, IU Sports Medicine Lab does drug testing for national and international competition and collegiate athletic programs.
The type of test we do is looking for the presence of drugs in urine of athletes. And this can be done for international or national competition. In that case, the types of drugs that are being screened for are those that are considered performance enhancing. This was a classification of drugs that would, when used by an individual, could enhance their performance. They were commonly considered drugs like stimulants that may relieve fatigue, or the class of anabolic steroids, which are used to enhance strength and power of an athlete artificially. Some of the collegiate testing is also concerned with other drugs that are used, that are commonly used in society, like cocaine and marijuana.
Why do we bother to do drug testing?
It's used as a deterrent as part of an overall program by various athletic groups to try to deter the use or misuse of drugs in athletics.
Drug testing is only one facet of the effort by the Department of Intercollegiate Athletics on the Bloomington campus to help IU's student athletes.
The Student Athletes Assistant Program basically is composed of 11 individuals throughout the athletic department who serve as advisors or people who an athlete can come to if they have a problem, regardless, whether it's alcohol, drug-related, anything that can affect their school or their education. We would like for them to see any member of this committee. Well, our program involves three components. It's just not only drug testing, but it's also education, and it's also assistance program in terms of getting people help that need help if they need it. And also we feel the key is education in terms of bringing in different speakers who can talk about drugs and able to be athletes to make a knowledgeable decision. We have over 600 athletes here, and all the athletes are tested at some point during the season. I think basically what happens
show you the percentages, field goals for Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne, leading here 49-42 at halftime. They were 20 of 32 for 63% from the field. They were 2 of 4 from the free throw line for 50%. They had 10 rebounds and 17 turnovers. That should be 7 turnovers. That's a mistake on the graphic. For the University of Indianapolis, they were 16 of 27 for 59%, 4 or 5 from the free throw line for 80%. They had 12 rebounds and 12 turnovers. The amazing stat, I think, Dave, is the three-point percentages when we talked about that. IPFW actually out shooting University of Indianapolis from the three-point range, 7 for 11 for 64%, actually better from the three-point range than from two-point range, while Indianapolis also better from three-point range, 6 of 10 for 60%. Just an amazing statistic. Leading scorers at halftime are for IPFW, Glenn Howard and Sean Gibson with 10. For University of Indianapolis, Steve Long with 10, Pertzinger with 8, and Hensley with 7. The only person in foul trouble at this point is Steve Nobby for Indianapolis with 3.
And Long for the University of Indianapolis came off of the bench stand to be their leading scorer.
That's right. That's correct, Dave. Just a really well-played first half. And in fact, it's the best I've seen IPFW play since Christmas time.
The play begins with IPFW inbounding the ball on the alternate possession. And we have the ball lost in the far right corner by Sam Long. So Indianapolis coming down with the first opportunity perhaps to score. And Gary Paul with a long jumper from the right side. No good. Doug Ranke rebounds. Doug went high for the ball. And Lawrence Jordan quickly down. Gives the ball off to Sean Gibson. Excellent feed, excellent move down the lane. And Sean puts it up for a layup and a possible three-point play.
That's just a quick hustle back down the court. Beat the U of I defense down and were able to get the easy bucket. Forced U of I to foul. Here's the replay. There you see Gibson cut down the middle with the feed from Lawrence Jordan.
Sean with the free throw is up and no good. Rattles around. Kyle Persinger come off with the rebound for Indianapolis. Over to Scott Long. Scott Long back to Kyle Persinger. Gary Paul. Indianapolis looking to maybe spread their offense a little bit more than we had seen them do in the first half. Their perimeter is really extended, and maybe they're looking for the drive. Scott Long actually that time maybe got away with a travel. And Glenn Howard with a good rebound position inside. IPFW up the floor quickly. Oh, excellent pass across to Lawrence Jordan to Doug Ranke. Doug missed the first 2 times, but he kept going back after it and couldn't get that ball to fall.
Well, he upped his rebound average there by getting 2 or 3 of them at a time. He couldn't get the shot to fall.
And we have a foul on the floor before the shot was taken. Gary Paul on an aggressive move to the basket drew the foul against Sam Long.
And that's actually the first time I've seen Paul really go all the way to the bucket. He's chosen to shoot from outside. But if he is willing to do that, we saw that in the St. Joe ladies game the other day. the first half they didn't do much driving. The second half they really opened it up by driving the middle and feeding off to the big people.
It changed things considerably. Doug Ranke with another rebound on the missed shot by Jamie Whetstone. Lawrence Jordan puts up a short jumper, and it's good. Full court pressure being exerted against the Greyhounds. They stop, set up, and again have a fairly widespread perimeter offense set up at the moment, Dan.
Well, they've got some really good shooters, Dave, and so they can be content to do that if indeed they can hit.
And that three-pointer rims around and drops off.
Ranke did another great job. That's 3 or 4 rebounds in a row for him.
Sam Long with the outside jumper, no good. Glenn Howard picks up the loose ball, and Glenn is fouled as he attempts to go up. Draws the foul against Doug Staley, number 34 for the University of Indianapolis.
And they're going to give him 2 shots. I'm not sure they're really shooting, but it appears they're going to give him, in a continuation move, give him 2 shots.
Well, the official made that move, or that signal, very, very early that it was a 2-shot foul, so he must have been convinced that he was going to shoot. Glenn Howard at the line for 2 free throws. First one is up and good.
There you saw the replay of that foul.
Steve Dobby with carrying 3 personal fouls, and Coach Green feels that he has to have him in for that inside strength.
I think Dave has scored the first 5 points here, and I'm thinking that this will be the first 6. So.
And Doug Ranke and Sean Gibson underneath have just about owned the rebounding situation too, as Glenn drops both.
For the second half of tonight's second game in the doubleheader between the IPFW Mastodons and the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds. We've got some official halftime statistics here. We'd show you the percentages, field goals for Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne, leading here 49-42 at halftime. They were 20 of 32 for 63% from the field. They were 2 of 4 from the free throw line for 50%. They had 10 rebounds and 17 turnovers. That should be 7 turnovers. That's a mistake on the graphic. For the University of Indianapolis, they were 16 of 27 for 59%, 4 or 5 from the free throw line for 80%. They had 12 rebounds and 12 turnovers. The amazing stat, I think, Dave, is the three-point percentages when we talked about that. IPFW actually out shooting University of Indianapolis from the three-point range, 7 for 11 for 64%. Actually better from the three-point range than from two-point range. While Indianapolis also better from three-point range, 6 of 10 for 60%. Just an amazing statistic. Leading scorers at halftime are for IPFW, Glenn Howard and Sean Gibson with 10. For University of Indianapolis, Steve Long with 10. Pertzinger with 8, and Hensley with 7. The only person in foul trouble at this point is Steve Nobby for Indianapolis with 3.
And Long for the University of Indianapolis came off of the bench, Dan, to be their leading scorer.
That's right. That's correct, Dave. Just a really well-played first half, and in fact, it's the best I've seen IPFW play since Christmas time.
The play begins with IPFW inbounding the ball on the alternate possession, and we have the ball lost in the far right corner by Sam Long. So Indianapolis coming down with the first opportunity perhaps to score. And Gary Paul with a long jumper from the right side, no good. Doug Ranke rebounds. Doug went high for the ball, and Lawrence Jordan quickly down. Gives the ball off to Sean Gibson. Excellent feed, excellent move down the lane, and Sean puts it up for a layup and a possible three-point play.
That's just a quick hustle back down the court, beat the U of I defense down, and were able to get the easy bucket, forced U of I to foul. Here's the replay. There you see Gibson cut down the middle with the feed from Lawrence Jordan.
Sean with the free throw is up and no good. Rattles around. Kyle Persinger come off with the rebound for Indianapolis. Over to Scott Long. Scott Long back to Kyle Persinger. Gary Paul. Indianapolis looking to maybe spread their offense a little bit more than we had seen them do in the first half. Their perimeter is really extended, Now maybe they're looking for the drive. Scott Long actually that time maybe got away with a travel. And Glenn Howard with a good rebound position inside. IPFW up the floor quickly. Oh, excellent pass across to Lawrence Jordan to Doug Reinke. Doug missed the first 2 times, but he kept going back after it and couldn't get that ball to fall.
Well, he upped his rebound average there by getting 2 or 3 of them at a time, but he couldn't get the shot to fall.
And we have a foul on the floor before the shot was taken. Gary Paul on an aggressive move to the basket drew the foul against Sam Long.
And that's actually the first time I've seen Paul really go all the way to the bucket. He's chosen to shoot from outside, but if he is willing to do that, we saw that in the St. Joe ladies game the other day. The first half they didn't do much driving. The second half they really opened it up by driving the middle and feeding off to the big people.
Could change things considerably. Doug Reinke with another rebound on the missed shot by Jamie Whetstone. Lawrence Jordan puts up a short jumper, and it's good. Full court pressure being exerted against the Greyhounds. They stop, set up, and again have a fairly widespread perimeter offense set up at the moment, Dan.
Well, they've got some very good shooters, Dave, and so they can be content to do that if indeed they can hit.
And that three-pointer rims around and drops off.
Reinke did another great job. That's 3 or 4 rebounds in a row for him.
Sam Long with the outside jumper, no good. Glenn Howard picks up the loose ball, and Glenn is fouled as he attempts to go up. Draws the foul against Doug Staley, number 34 for the University of Indianapolis.
And they're going to give him 2 shots. I'm not sure he was really shooting, but it appears they're going to give him in a continuation move and give him 2 shots.
Well, the official made that move or that signal very, very early that it was a 2-shot foul, so he must have been convinced that he was going to shoot. Glenn Howard at the line for 2 free throws. First one is up and good.
There you saw the replay of that foul.
Steve Dobby carrying 3 personal fouls, and Coach Green feels that he has to have him in for that inside strength.
IPFW's Dave has scored the first 5 points here, and if Glenn can hit this, will be the first 6. So.
And Doug Reinke and Sean Gibson underneath have just about owned the rebounding situation too, as Glenn drops both free throws in. Kyle Persinger. Doug Staley with the ball on the right side. Back out to Jamie Whetstone. Kyle Persinger. Kyle took a couple of dribbles here. And we have a foul on the move to the basket. Jamie Whetstone fouled by Sam Long.
IPFW not doing a very good job of closing the lane, but they're getting very good backside help. Gibson went up to block that shot after the attempt.
In fact, the best backside help we've seen in a while. Earlier in the game, that was missing.
Right.
Jamie Whetstone with the first free throw. It's good. Both games, both teams missed very few free throws.
That's correct.
I've always thought that's the way it should be. You ought to drop those free ones. The second one also good. 55-44. IPFW in the lead. Sam Long with a move to the basket and is called for the offensive foul.
And Dave, that's his 3rd foul here in the first 2 minutes and a half. And he had no fouls at halftime. He now has 3 fouls.
Steal and save by Lawrence Jordan, and he's coming back in a hurry. Stops, pulls up with a short jumper and puts it in. It's a good move. Nobody picked him up. He had the 14-foot jumper and scored. It's probably a lot better move than for him to go on into the basket and try to dish off and get into heavy traffic.
No doubt about that, particularly his size, Dave. He can't afford to go in with the big, tall trees.
And there we see on the move to the basket, Jamie Whetstone draws another foul. This time he got Sean Gibson. As you see the score, 57 for IPFW, 44 for the University of Indianapolis. We are about 3 minutes into the second half.
This game has the flavor of the game in Indianapolis a week ago tonight, where IPFW moved out to a 14-point lead and then frittered it away in the last 11 or 12 minutes. So we certainly hope that doesn't happen and that IPFW can maintain its intensity.
Yeah, their challenge here tonight is going to be to continue now with the same kind of play and see it through to the end. As Jamie Whetstone again hits the free throw, he will have opportunity number 2 and a chance to cut the lead to 11. Second free throw is good. Lloyd Surgeon inbounds to Lawrence Jordan, and Lawrence quickly up the floor. Kevin Shank entered the game during the last dead ball. Mike Pittman back out to Lawrence Jordan. Lawrence tries to penetrate, nothing there, can't get inside. And that time he pressed the shot a little bit, but got caught on the arm and drew the foul from Scott Long, number 30 for the University of Indianapolis.
Well, I think Lawrence is really trying hard to take a leadership role. He and Lloyd are the only 2 seniors on his ball club, and I think particularly since Christmas, that's what Andy Piazza's been looking for, is some senior leadership. And I think that's what Lawrence is doing. He's not used to being a scorer, Dave. In his career, he's been a good defensive player and a good assist man, but not a scorer. But he's really having to try to carry that load this season.
His first free throw is good.
In fact, he's leading the team in points, and that's pretty amazing statistic for Lawrence Jordan in his career, I'll bet.
Yes, it is. But it is the time of the ball game where IPFW's got to stay in the scoring flow and not let this lead that they worked so hard to get dwindle down. And with the move to the basket, Jamie Whetstone has been drawing a foul almost every possession in the last 3 or 4. That time the foul occurred before the shot could be taken, so that there will be no free throws on this possession.
Well, there you see on your replay the difference between a senior and a freshman, Dave. The senior Whetstone going against the freshman Ranke, and give Doug Ranke 3 more years of maturing and growing at this level, and he'll be the one making those moves and making the defensive stops.
The defense shut off the baseline that time, and we get an NBA three-pointer as Lloyd Surgeon goes high to rebound. No special advantage this time. Oh, and excellent move that time as Kevin stopped and then went back right on back to the basket strong and got the layup. Gary Paul, Scott Long, Jamie Whetstone. Gary Paul on the deep left-hand corner with the three-pointer. That one looked good almost from the time it left his hand.
Right. Just nice rotation, nice form, nice follow through.
Into the Greyhound lineup, number 34, Doug Staley and Scott
Long. IPFW with the lead at 61-49. And they have the ball, looking for the inside move and get a nice inside shot. Lloyd Surgeon rebounds, puts it back up, and gets the roll.
A little short on his first one, but stayed with it, got the ball, and was able to get it over the front of the rim on a second attempt.
15 and a half minutes to be played now in the second half. And again, Larry Paul puts up an NBA three-pointer from way out. That one was no good.
Dave, Gary Paul from Huntington North High School, but to be honest with you, I don't recall him very much as a high school player. He's really matured and come into his own here at the collegiate level.
I don't remember the name very much either, Dan, other than once he did get to the University of Indianapolis, he's been a mainstay for them. Lloyd Jordan with a near steal. Far side. Again. Spread offense around the perimeter by the Greyhounds. Good strong move to the basket that time by John Honstrider, and he didn't hesitate at all. He went right at it. Kyle Persinger over to Steve Nobby. Back out to Gary Paul. Kyle Persinger. Steve Nobby. And Kyle Persinger taking the three-pointer. Have an awful strong indication in this second half, Dan, that Indianapolis has decided to live or die by the three-point shot.
Well, I think, Dave, they can't afford to muscle inside with IPFW. IPFW just has too many big, strong players, and not be in foul trouble at this point in time is the only real strong player they've got on the inside.
And a three-pointer put up by Mike Pittman, which is one of the few three-pointers by IPFW this half.
Right. And they've got to not live or die by the three-pointer, in my opinion. They've got to take it down inside.
Yeah, they've had the other things going. Gary Paul that time with a nice move, two-point jumper. And Indianapolis setting back in what looks like now a 2-3 zone. Lloyd Surgeon with a nice move, spin shot down on the baseline right. Something we haven't seen much out of Lloyd for several games. He has hit a bit of a lull. Jamie Whetstone moves to the inside. He draws the foul. It's called against John Honstrider.
Here you see the replay. You see Honstrider get the bump right there. Surgeon gets the block after the foul. So Whetstone, will shoot the two shots.
Jamie's been at the free throw line a lot here in these first 6 minutes of the second half. First free throw is good. I think it's maybe his fourth trip to the line this half. I don't think he's missed too many. Second free throw is also good.
That's 13 for Whetstone tonight.
IPFW maintains an 11-point lead with 13 minutes and 45 seconds to be played here in the second half. The offensive spread tipped away. John Honstrider saved the ball. Lawrence that time had, he got up in the air, no place to go, put up a soft shot that rolled around and left a good rebound opportunity for Lloyd Surgeon.
Lloyd's really playing heads-up basketball tonight.
Gary Paul with the three-pointer. So things can happen in a hurry. Sam Long, far right, stops, puts up the jump shot, a little flat. John Honstrider surprised with the rebound that time, and it bumped him on the top of the head. And then we'll have to see another NBA three-pointer. And a 3-on-1 break here if it's handled right. And there we go with the slam, jam, bam by Lloyd Surgeon.
But a great assist by Lawrence Jordan. Always looking for the open player. Great.
Great steal that time by Lloyd Surgeon. And there'll be a travel call. Probably the right call, although it was certainly a good hustle play. And Lawrence couldn't quite get rid of it.
Here we go. We're going to see a replay, Dave, and see if you can see the. There you see it. There he picks it up.
Yeah, a couple of little ones in there.
Steps, right.
And we see a kind of similar call against the University of Indianapolis. We're in tight situation and some real short, choppy steps.
Well, I think Gary Paul's getting a little frustrated. He's had a couple calls that have not gone his way tonight with fouls, and that being one of them. And I saw a little frustration on his face, so he needs to shake that off.
A little sloppy on the play that time and a couple of opportunities, and it got away. Kyle Persinger down deep to Whetstone. Persinger launches the long three-pointer. And as he was penetrating down the lane, Lawrence Jordan drew the foul. And it will be in the act of shooting or not. What do they call it? Yes, in the act of shooting. So Lawrence Jordan will shoot 2 free throws. Scott Long getting ready to check back into the lineup for Indianapolis.
Here you see a replay. Lawrence split on the middle. Dave, the scoreboard has 2 on Gary Paul. I only have 1, so we'll go with the scoreboard. We'll assume they're right. Good shot of the senior Lawrence Jordan.
Perfect on the first free throw.
IPFW with a fairly small lineup in right now with Pittman, Jordan, and Schenk in there, along with Gibson and Honstrider.
And likewise, Indianapolis has a reasonably short lineup. Lawrence hits both free throws. Trap defense. Indianapolis quickly across the line. John Hunstrider out to shut off the drive with the ball by Gary Paul. Scott Long back into the lineup now for Indianapolis. He too is one of those three-point threats, and the trap leaves him open. Gary Paul, they're doing a nice job of getting the coverage out there on the three-point guys, and a good rebound that time by Sean Gibson. And we had a 4-on-2 break that time that got broken up by the alert Indianapolis defense. Long three-pointer, Kyle Persinger.
Well, Dave, you mentioned earlier ago, those are better than collegiate three-pointers. Those are way out there.
They're taking them far enough out that the officials have no doubt as to whether it's a three-point attempt or not. But Indiana-Purdue able to work their offense and maintain the lead. That time a little tight play underneath. The official thought he saw a nice clean block of the shot.
I didn't see that, Dave. Here's a replay. There you see Gibson looked right across the arms of the team.
Yes, well.
He had a close review, I guess.
Well, he had that view, though, head on. He should have been able to see that. Gary Paul out deep for Indianapolis. Kyle Persinger out deep, but and Scott Long, they're not so far out that they're not within the three-point shot range. And Scott Long is going to get an opportunity, and he collects. Scott comes in off of that bench and really gives them an additional three-point threat. 73-65 as we near the midpoint of the second half. IPFW holding on to an 8-point lead at the moment. Offensively looking for the opportunity that will get them the inside shot, and there's a good move. Good dish off by Lawrence Jordan, and Sean Gibson playing a nice inside offensive game tonight, Dan.
Well, Dave, I don't know how many assists Lawrence Jordan has, but it's got to be a bundle tonight.
Well, he had 9 at halftime, and has since been adding to that.
He owns the school record at 16, I believe, in a single game, isn't it?
I think that's it.
He could be very close to that.
And we have on a break that time, I think, an additional foul against Gary Paul. Gary might be getting a little tired.
The whole University of Indianapolis team's got to be getting a little tired, Dave. The pace of this game has just been tremendous. And
not very deep on the bench.
They're not very deep on the bench.
IPFW with a 10-point lead, and a nice quick inbound pass to Glenn Howard as he was breaking down the lane and got the easy two. And you can kind of see on some of the passes that Indianapolis is getting a little tired. They're having to reach for some of those passes. They're looking back for some of the things. And there we see the outside shot, and that time a move with Lawrence Jordan coming out with the ball. He stops, pulls up, and hits the jumper. A lot of inside action that time, and finally Steve Nobby came out with a 2-point play.
Officials a little bit hesitant to call a foul down there.
The foul, and maybe even, I'm not sure whether the
goaltending?
Yeah, it might have been blocked against the bank board. And Coach Andy Piazza calls a timeout here at the 8:47 mark. I think probably just to alert the guys to, hey, we got to keep playing hard, map out the strategy here for the last little less than 9 minutes of play.
Well, Dave, I hesitate to say this with 8 minutes and 47 seconds left, but this is the best that I've seen IPFW play since Christmas. So I think that, again, I hate to put a jinx on them. Please let us know how you like our sports programming on Channel 6. Call us at 481-6582. Your viewpoints and support are important to us. We really want to know what your feelings are. Catch all the action of men's and women's basketball and men's volleyball here on College Access Channel 6.
And here you get a peek into the huddle of Coach Andy Piazza and the IPFW Mastodons with a 79-67 lead, and attempting here to keep that momentum that got them that lead, Dan. They've had a little longer lead than that at a couple of times, but not a great deal more than that.
They're playing very good basketball, Dave. That's the key right now. And as I said, I think that at this point in the game, in the last few games, they haven't had the leadership that they need, and I think they're getting that from all aspects today. Lawrence Jordan obviously both scoring and assisting. Everybody's holding on to the ball, going strong to the basket, rebounding well, and that's the kind of if you hope to stay competitive at Division II level, you've got to have that situation.
And Lloyd Surgeon makes a nice strong move to the basket, gets the jump shot to fall, and draws the foul at the same time.
And you mentioned we haven't seen much of that from Lloyd lately, and this is it's really good to see both Lloyd and Lawrence scoring some points here.
Yeah, we need all hands on deck now as we come down to these last several games of the season. We need to make the big push, because the guys still have a shot at an excellent season record and the potential of some postseason play. Darren Teamer is in the lineup again for the University of Indianapolis as Gary Paul launches the long three-pointer. And IPFW is getting good rebound position now, Dan. It's as Glenn Howard got a little over anxious on the pass there and gave one up in the sky that Lloyd Surgeon couldn't quite come down with.
Well, and that wasn't needed. That's the thing. We had plenty of time on the shot clock, and need to use a little bit of it now.
An up-tempo look in the eye of all the IPFW players right now, Dan. They're playing hard. They're alert offensively and defensively. Hustling, going after everything. I think they've decided that if Indianapolis is going to pull this one out, they're going to earn it. Darren Teamer may be one of those in the lineup now that is not that outside three-point threat.
Well, and he looks a little bit tentative right now. Freshman in the ball game here and playing with a lot of upperclassmen, and he just looks a little bit tentative.
Both teams in the bonus now as far as the fouls are concerned, so that Jamie Whetstone will go to the line, shoot the 1-and-1 for the University of Indianapolis. Jamie's been at the line quite a lot tonight. First free throw is up and good. Almost short. He might be getting a little tired also. Second free throw is on its way and good. And Lloyd Surgeon again with an assertive move on the inside, puts the jump shot up and good. Been interesting on as Indianapolis has played this zone here lately, Dan. Maybe it's because of some foul trouble, but Indiana Purdue has had no trouble really in getting the ball inside.
Well, it's good ball movements. What's doing it? They're able to move the ball around the perimeter and get the defense moving, and then get it inside for an easy shot. Plus, IPFW doing a very good job on scoring.
Short jump shot is good by number 34, Doug Staley. Doug had been kind of quiet here in the second half. Sam Long with the three-pointer on its way. No good, up and over the back of the backboard.
Sam's rushing his shot, not getting a very good set, and not getting good follow-through on that. Almost shot-putting the ball up there.
Pressure defense again by the Mastodons, making it difficult for the University of Indianapolis to bring the ball up court. And Jamie Whetstone has been making those moves to the basket and been elusive enough to draw a foul practically every time that he's in there. Although he's not getting the field goals to fall, he sure is making his trip to the line.
No, in fact, Dave, he's got 8 points here in the second half, and all of them are on free throws.
All on free throws. Doesn't surprise me a bit.
Here you see the replay. He's going down, and there's the pass down, and there's Whetstone, and looked like Surgeon had a pretty good block.
Yeah. Well, that was Lloyd's third foul. as he goes out for a well-deserved rest. Whetstone's first free throw this time is short.
You're right, he's getting tired.
He's getting a little tired. Notice that the last time up there. He's an excellent shooter, though, so he'll probably compensate this time, and he does. 12-point lead for the Mastodons. 6:45 left in the ballgame. Kevin Shank down on the right side, back out to Lawrence Jordan. Over to Mike Pittman on the left side. Mike with the three-point shot, no good. Sean Gibson with a big, strong rebound and wisely pulled the ball out. And that time, Lawrence Jordan tossed the ball away. He thought it was tipped, but apparently it was not.
Well, Teamer called that all the way from the time that the ball went out of bounds, and the official obviously saw it the same way or believed him, one of the two, so the ball goes out of bounds to Indianapolis.
Gary Paul going out for a rest for the Greyhounds. And excellent play by Lawrence Jordan that time. And he whips the ball inside to Sean Gibson. Sean drew the foul. Came before he had an opportunity to shoot the ball. So Sean Gibson will go to the free throw line.
Great defensive play by Lawrence Jordan, and then a great feed from Jordan. It's 14 for Sean Gibson tonight, Dave.
Sean's had a good ball game. Had a lot of rebounds. Both free throws are good by Sean. Steve Nobby that time not real sharp with the pass, and Lawrence Jordan decides, I'm going to go in with this one. Sean Gibson alertly tips the ball out of bounds, so the Mastodons are alert right now and defensively playing very sharp.
Well, and that's what they have not had, Dave, and that's what they need. They've got a tough stretch. Next week they go on the road to Lewis and to Kentucky State, then they come home and play Northern Kentucky and Bellarmine, and they go back on the road probably for their toughest weekend when they go down to play Southern Indiana and Kentucky Wesleyan in the same weekend.
And the fatigue factor becoming more and more obvious with the University of Indianapolis, as the Greyhounds are just about a half a notch behind on their passes. Their shooting could be a tough last 5 minutes and 50 seconds for the Greyhounds. But we'll hope the Mastodons keep up their intensity and their sharpness. Nice strong move inside Sean Gibson, but Steve Nobby stayed right with him and didn't let him have that easy shot. Jamie Whetstone with his move to the basket again. That time he was not fouled and he missed the shot. Sean Gibson that time with losing his balance, and had just enough to flip it up and get it up over the front part of the rim.
Well, it appeared to have passed to himself, Dave, while he was in the air.
That's
he stayed
right.
up in the air and caught the ball and reshot it without coming down, which would have been a traveling call.
Kyle Persinger launches the three-pointer, and it's good. Oh, he called it two. He said he was on the line. So they called it two.
It appears these officials were tipped off to that, Dave, because they've been watching that very closely. That's a tough call with that many three-point attempts tonight.
Well, the way this Indianapolis team puts the three-pointer up there, I'm sure they knew there'd be lots of opportunity to have to make that call. Steve Nobby goes out. Looks very tired. Just under 5 minutes of play. Remains with the IPFW Mastodons holding on to a 90-74 lead, 16-point lead. About as big a lead as they've had, I think, Dan.
Right, I think that is their biggest lead, Dave.
Mike Pittman hits three from the right side.
That's three-pointers for him. That's his only points tonight.
And Gary Paul launches a three-pointer. It's no good. Lawrence Jordan up to tip it away, and Doug Ranke controls it and then hustles down the court. Lawrence Jordan puts a short jumper up and in. He got the roll. And all of a sudden, IPFW has burst to a 21-point lead. And the pass tipped away. IPFW on the move again.
Dave, I think the official missed that call. I think that University of Indianapolis hit that ball, and I think Jordan then can legitimately can pick it up and dribble again.
I think there might have been an intermediate touch in there, enough so that it was not the double dribble, and the official...
Well, again, I think that this is the best IPFW has played, and it's just a great thing to see because, again, we talked about it a minute ago. They're coming into a real tough part of their season. So
you see on your screen that coming up on Thursday, February 22nd at 7:30 p.m. at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum will be an exceptional opportunity for the people in Northeast Indiana and Fort Wayne to see international volleyball. The Cuban national volleyball team will be playing the U.S. team. Tickets are $5 and $7, available at the Coliseum ticket office or any Ticketmaster outlet. Or call 1-800-359-8383. Visa and MasterCard are accepted.
Well, Dave, I think an important sideline about that is our viewers may have been reading the paper lately about the financial problems in the IPFW athletic department, and that is a fundraiser for IPFW athletics. Athletic director and men's volleyball coach Arnie Ball has enough contacts to be able to bring that in, and they're acting as the promoter for this event. So all net proceeds will go into the athletic scholarship fund.
Absolutely. So all of you, let's get out and pack that Coliseum. And more importantly, as we pack the Coliseum, the dollars will help go toward the athletic scholarships here at IPFW.
Little late whistle. I think a legitimate call, but he was about 6 or 8 feet away when the whistle blew.
Push-off call on Scott Long as he used Lawrence Jordan to get free for the inbounds pass.
And since it's a loose ball foul, Jordan will be shooting the 1-on-1.
Lawrence at the line. First of the 1-on-1 is in. And Lawrence will shoot the second. Well, Dan, this has been an excellent finish, if you like, even though there's 4 minutes to go yet in this ball game. IPFW reached that point where they've been having some difficulty lately at the 7-8 minute mark of a game and trouble finishing it, and they have put the whammy on this one right at the end.
And Dave, I think what happens is that it becomes a psychological thing that happens over and over again, and so you need to overcome that, which they have obviously done tonight. So
Jamie Whetstone has been, other than the outside threat of the entire team of Indianapolis, he's been about the only inside part of the offensive attack for Indianapolis, and has been repeatedly going to the basket and repeatedly going to the line. That time he drew the foul, as he has several times.
Well, and it's a shame that the rest of the team hasn't followed the same pattern, because he's had a lot of success at that.
Sam needed a little one bounce in there so he could avoid the traveling call. No basket. 76 for the Indianapolis Greyhounds, and that time again perhaps just a fatigue factor. Kyle Persinger just not very quickly stepping in bounds before he got the ball back. Sam Long to inbounds the ball for IPFW. Glenn Howard brings it back out the top, looks at Sam down on the baseline, jumper, good. Mastodons approaching the century mark at 99. And we have a new player in the lineup for the University of Indianapolis, number 55, Todd Lammert. Todd is a 6'5" freshman. And we get a basket.
Yeah, by Lawrence Jordan, Dave. He's just got a lot of confidence tonight in his shot, and he scored 20 points tonight with a number of assists, great defensive play, great overall court play.
Gary Paul drives to the basket that time, and the new player we just mentioned makes a nice drive to the basket, puts it up and in. Lawrence Jordan brings the ball across. The offensive setup now for Indiana Purdue is out fairly high, as they will use the shot clock as well as looking for the offensive set to give them a good easy bucket if possible. Inside jumper to Sean Gibson. No good. Rebound, Todd Lambert. Todd's fresh, and we're seeing him in the action both offensively and defensively. Lawrence Jordan, still fresh. He's going after that ball. Gary Paul, three-point attempt, and it's good.
Dave, you mentioned about that Lawrence Jordan. I mean, I looked down the list. He has almost double the minutes of anybody else on the team, and it is amazing that he can go as hard and as long as he does.
Sam Long again with the jumper from the left side. Sam has got an X on that spot of the floor, I think. Kyle Persinger with the three-pointer. It's around and no good. Lloyd Surgeon. Lloyd had committed to make a pass that time before he looked around to see where he might be free. He had a good rebound. And he's replaced by John Honstrider in the IPFW lineup. Best performance by IPFW in quite a while, Dan.
Dave, not since the Southern Indiana game on like the 17th of December have I seen him play with this kind of intensity.
And consistently from beginning to end. But they finished this one. Minute 50 to play. 103-81. IPFW in the lead. Leonard Fox that time with a strong move to the basket, and he draws the foul on number 20, Tom Bratton. Several of the starters for the University of Indianapolis are now over on the bench catching their breath. You can see they're tired.
Well, and they played hard, Dave. I mean, again, it's their style of ball versus our style of ball tonight, and our style of ball tended to win tonight. Now, last week it was the opposite way.
Yeah.
So, again, I think they got to be proud and pleased of how they hustled and worked at it.
The entire bench for Indianapolis is now in the game. Number 44, Matt Cabot, makes his first appearance. As Leonard Fox hits the first of two free throws and now will attempt the second. And Lawrence Jordan goes out. Excellent performance by the young man tonight.
Excellent.
Leonard Fox, second free throw, good.
Dave, those 13 assists for Lawrence Jordan tonight with the 15 he had against St. Joe on Thursday gives him 28 for the weekend. That's a pretty good weekend's work.
That's a career for some people. Sam Long with the rebound, whips it out quickly to Mike Pittman. Mike and John Honstrader. Mike goes strongly to the basket. John Honstrader puts it up on the rebound and draws the foul from number 20, Tom Bratton. So John Honstrader will go to the free throw line.
Here's the replay. Pittman driving. He might have gotten fouled there, but they didn't call a foul on the first one. Didn't call it till the second attempt. Honstrader going to the line for two. Good picture of the freshman.
John's first free throw a little long. So he will attempt the second. It's in the air, and it is no good. Bounce around, in and out. Rebound by Matt Cabot. Indianapolis now with not quite so many of their three-point bombers in there. Sam Long with the rebound. It's going to be a big rebounding night for the Mastodons too. Oh, interesting possibility there. Sam Long for three, no good. Comes away. Mike Pittman grabs the ball. Shot clock is no longer a factor. Leonard Fox with a nice move to the basket. And as he makes that move, he draws the foul.
Bratton's going to get in the scorebook here late in the game with 3 quick fouls.
He may cause one of those starters to have to come back in off of the bench.
Leonard hit 2 a minute ago from the free throw line. Missed one earlier in the ball game. Is 3 for 4 from the free throw line.
First free throw this time is no good. 36 seconds left to play in the ball game. IPFW 105-106 make it as Leonard hits the second free throw. 81 for the University of Indianapolis. give and go back down the middle, and we see Scott Long hit the layup.
Hey, that's 15 off the bench for him.
Yeah, he's had a good night. Scott Burkhart with the ball over to Leonard Fox. Now to Sam Long. Sam stops him, takes the jumper. Sam's been deadly lately on that about 15, 16-foot jump shot. Scott Long launches the three-pointer. And number 44, Mike Cabot, at the buzzer, picked off a rebound, put it back up, got the two-point shot. So we have a final score here tonight of IPFW 108, University of Indianapolis 85. And IPFW finished this game very, very strong.
Very well, Dave. That's got to be the most promising thing from this game. Certainly you want to come away with a win, but you also need to know that you have got your confidence back and playing well, and I think that certainly happened tonight. Dave, let me run down some unofficial stats here in scoring for the victorious IPFW Mastodons, who moved to 15-6 and 5-6 in the GLVC. They were led in scoring tonight by led in scoring and assists and all-around play by Lawrence Jordan, number 4, 20 points. Two players had 17. Lloyd Surgeon, who did a great job as a senior coming off the bench, and they need that leadership, and Sean Gibson had 17. Glenn Howard had 14, along with Sam Long, who had 14, so very balanced scoring. Mike Pittman had 9, Leonard Fox had 4, Kevin Shank had 2, Doug Ranke had 4, John Honstreiter had 6, Scott Burkhart did not score, for a total of 108 points. On the other side of the ledger, the University of Indianapolis Greyhounds go to 9-11 on the season, 5-6, matching record in the GLVC that the IPFW Mastodons have. They were led in scoring tonight by Jamie Whetstone, 18. Gary Paul had 17, below his average, though. IPFW did a good job on forcing him to take some shots he didn't necessarily want to take. Kyle Pertzinger had 16. Scott Long had 15, so they had pretty balanced scoring, but just not enough of it. Darren Timor did not score. Tom Bratton had 2. Doug Staley had 9. Matt Cabot had 2. Steve Noby had 4. And Todd Lambert had 2 for 85 points. So the final score tonight, 108-85.
And this reminder that our next live telecast will be a doubleheader on Thursday, February 15th, starting at 6 p.m. as the Bells from Bellarmine College meet the IPFW Lady Dons. That game then will be followed at approximately 8 p.m. as the Knights from Bellarmine College meet the men's basketball team of IPFW, the Mastodons. Catch all the action of college basketball right here on College Access Channel 6. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the crew, the College Access Channel 6, and the Learning Resource Center at IPFW for their participation in the live production of our game tonight. Again, for Dan Gebhardt, this is Dave Skelton thanking you for being with us for the Great Lakes Valley Conference basketball as the IPFW Mastodons were victorious in both men's and women's games tonight, defeating the University of Indianapolis.